Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm gonna start off by giving you an overview, then we'll skim read through the article to make sure that we give you all of the correct and important information in regards to this very sad, tragic situation which occurred in Greece. A 33-year-old mother was pictured smiling at her disabled daughter, whose name is Georgina, 9 years of age, in the last photo that was taken of little Georgina. And then subsequently, shortly after taking the picture, the 33-year-old mother, whose name is Roula Pispirigou, Roula Pispirigou, the mother gave 9-year-old Georgina, her daughter, a fatal dose of ketamine. So there were no nurses, no doctors present. She was alone in the room, I believe, for about an hour. And the mother, seemingly, shortly after taking this last photo, I believe this is the last photo, shortly after this photo was taken, the mother purposefully, knowingly, gives young Georgina, 9 years of age, a fatal dose of ketamine. Kills her. Further to that, and we will look through the details closer in a moment to make sure I get all the details right. Further from this case, the authorities have decided to investigate further the previous deaths of 2 other children of Roula Pispirigou. So she's already had 2 children die prior to this, and as far as I understand, again, we'll read through it to make sure we get it right, but essentially the other children's deaths were attributed to health issues, medical issues, organ failure, but now, given the death of young Georgina at the hands of the mother, being murdered by the mother, the authorities have, exhumed the 2 previously deceased children of this crazed lunatic mother, Roula Pispirigou. Okay, so there's my overview. It's not perfect. It's pretty thorough, but not perfect. So I'm now going to read through the details more thoroughly, and that will tidy up all of the loose ends, as it were. But if you do like this type of content, if you like the way that I've presented it, started off with an overview, then gone into more detail, then please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I'll thank you for your time. But again, I'll now read through the article more thoroughly. A 33-year-old mother in Greece was pictured smiling at her disabled daughter in the last photo taken of the pair before giving her a fatal dose of ketamine. Roula Pispirigou, this crazed lunatic mother, was charged with killing her 9-year-old daughter Georgina after a test of her muscle tissue revealed the presence of the anesthetic drug, ketamine, which had not been administered by doctors. Georgina, the 9-year-old girl, who suffered from seizures in April 2021 that left her tetraplegic, died in January after spending 8 months in hospital. Nurses later confirmed that the mother, Roula Pispirigou, was alone with Georgina in the moments leading up to her death. So I'm going to Google tetraplegic just to make sure that we do understand that. Tetraplegia, sometimes referred to as quadriplegia, is a term used to describe the inability to voluntarily move the upper and lower parts of the body. The areas of impaired mobility usually include the fingers, hands, arms, chest, legs, feet, and toes. May or may not include the head, neck, and shoulders. Okay, so seemingly tetraplegia is synonymous with quadriplegia, which I'm more aware of that term personally. The crazed lunatic mother, Roula Pispirigou, flanked by riot police and wearing handcuffs and a protective vest, appeared in court in Athens last week for her arraignment in front of a crowd of onlookers and journalists. She was charged with killing her daughter, Georgina, and has been jailed in high-security Korydallos prison in Athens until her trial date, which is yet to be agreed upon. She has denied any wrongdoing. She's pleading not guilty. Meanwhile, tissue samples retained from this crazed lunatic's mother's two other children are now being re-examined as part of a review into their deaths. 3-year-old Melina died from liver failure in 2019, and 6-month-old Iris died in 2021 from a suspected heart defect. So at the time of these deaths in 2019 and 2021, the two children, the 3-year-old Melina and the 6-month-old Iris, their deaths were attributed to health conditions, the organ failures of the liver and heart, respectively. So there were no charges laid. But now, given the evidence against Roula Pispirigou in regards to the death of her 9-year-old daughter Georgina, she's going to be further investigated for those two deaths. So it seems like, or certainly she is being suspected of having killed 3 of her children. And we see in front of us, the last photo that she had taken or had taken of her smiling into the eyes, comforting her 9-year-old daughter Georgina, minutes, less than an hour before this crazed lunatic mother allegedly gave Georgina a fatal dose of ketamine. Forensic pathologist and president of the forensic unions in Greece, Grigoris Leon, told local news station that the exhumation of her other children confirmed criminal acts were the cause of death. So seemingly they've already determined that the other two children, Iris and Melina, did die due to criminal death. So the investigators will now need to build a case, a prosecution case, to argue that those criminal deaths were caused by this crazed lunatic mother, Roula Pispirigou. There she is being escorted into the court. And here she is again with Georgina, who was a tetraplegic after having suffered from seizures in April 2021. So let me speculate. Did those seizures occur naturally? Or did this crazed lunatic mother do something to, whatever the correct word may be, bring on those seizures, which ultimately left her daughter to be paralyzed, to be a tetraplegic? I have no idea. That's mere speculation. And we've got the 2 other children here. I presume they've got this slightly wrong. I think it says here 3-year-old Melina on the left. I think that would be Melina. And 6-month-old Iris. That would be Iris. They both died and they've both been exhumed. There's Georgina. Court documents said that the autopsy had revealed that Georgina died from a lethal dose of ketamine less than 20 minutes after it was administered. The documents reportedly claimed medical staff had last visited Georgina around an hour before she died. So seemingly, I think what's being alleged here, and I have all the faith in the world with the investigators, I think they know exactly what's happened. They've exhumed the 2 bodies and found wrongdoing. They've identified, I mean, science doesn't get this type of thing wrong that often, but they've identified that Georgina died of a fatal dose of ketamine. Doctors did not administer that. I mean, this will all be well documented. I think the article has told us, perhaps I've got this detail wrong, but I don't think so. I think the article's told us that it was the mother that was with Georgina from the time that the nurses were last there until she passed. So, seemingly, if I understand this correctly, Roula Pispirigou is the only suspect. There would be no other opportunity for anyone else. That's my take on it. To have administered a fatal dose of ketamine to Georgina. So I'm going to wrap things up here. So I think we've done a good job there. We started off with an overview. We've gone through the details in full. So I think that's a good job there. I wouldn't mind your feedback in regards to that approach. I would like to say condolences to the family concerned, but we don't know of any other family. We don't know that if Roula has a husband. We don't know if the father of any of the children are in the picture. We don't know, but I guess it's appropriate to say condolences to the father or the fathers of the 3 children. No disrespect meant. And anybody else, any other extended family. But I'm going to wrap things up here. If this is the type of content that you like, please do show some encouragement, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I'll thank you for your time.